I want to follow up on my questions from yesterday on the extravagant $400,000 invoice Canadian taxpayers are having to pay for hotel rooms in London for the Canada's delegation to Her late Majesty's the Queen's funeral. Senator Gold, yesterday you defended the costs of a $6,000 a night hotel room in London. I think you said hotel rooms in London are expensive, while also claiming that you didn't have enough information about the number of people and the length of their stay. Senator Gold, Brian Lilley had an article in the Toronto Star a few days ago, and I'm surprised that you had not been informed of this as you represent the government in this chamber. Global Affairs indicated through an access to information request that the Canadian delegation stayed at one of the top luxury hotels in central London. Canadians are on the hook for rooms as of September 11th, with the bulk of the delegation arriving on the 16th until the 19th and 20th. Canada's official delegation was led by the Governor-General and her husband, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his wife, and it included diplomats, top bureaucrats, former prime ministers, and governors-general and celebrities. Senator Gold, will you continue to defend this undefendable invoice to not only this chamber, but Canadian taxpayers?
Senator Gold.
Thank you for your question. I think it was, as I said yesterday, totally appropriate for the Governor-General and her husband to lead a diverse and proper delegation to pay tribute to Her Majesty, the late Queen Elizabeth, and I have every confidence that the measures taken to properly to take care of that delegation were appropriate under the circumstances.
Senator Platts.
Well, and of course, nobody's questioning that a delegation go. We're questioning the expenses, Senator Gold, and again, you're refusing to even touch on the question. Now, Senator Gold, in contrast to what our Canadian delegation did, U.S. President Joe Biden and his entourage had $0 for their costs out there, $0 to the taxpayers. Senator Gold, the Prime Minister's ultimate lack of respect for our public funds and his tradition of contempt for accountability are truly beneath the conduct of a Prime Minister. The aggravation continues as Prime Minister Trudeau also managed to keep up with another one of his traditions on this trip, which was to embarrass Canada during international visits. I'm sure nobody needs to be reminded of the unfortunate video of the Prime Minister singing the night away just days before the Queen's funeral. Senator Gold, I know that this Minister aspires to be a superstar, but was there not anybody there to remind him that such expenses would be infuriating for Canadian taxpayers? Senator Gold, how can your government justify $6,000 per night on a hotel room when the Prime Minister himself was critical of a former Conservative minister for invoicing a $16 glass of orange juice? Is your government subject to the same standards as others?
Senator Gold.
The appropriateness of expenditures varies with the context and varies with the circumstances. And again, I repeat, I think it was appropriate for the Canadian delegation to be in London and to be accommodated in the appropriate circumstances.
Senator Platt.
I heard appropriate to spend $6,000 a night. That's what I heard. My question, again, is for the government leader, and I want to expand on a question that Senator Martin posed last week. The Emergencies Act inquiry has been providing Canadians more information of what was going on behind the scenes in the decision-making process at the government level. Amongst other issues, we have learned that CSIS informed senior government officials that there is no evidence found on foreign actors or states financing the convoy protest in the week prior to the Emergency Act being evoked. Here is what CSIS director said. There is a lot of energy and support from the USA to Canada, adding, CSIS has also not seen any foreign money coming from other states to support this. But yet, Leader, on February 11th, when Prime Minister Trudeau was asked by Mareki Walsh for more details on the percentage of financing coming from the U.S., he said, and I quote, "Those aren't details that I have right in front of me. I've heard that on certain platforms, the number of U.S. donations are approaching 50%. Senator Gold, such a contradiction between the Prime Minister and CSIS will have serious consequences to the confidence of Canadians. Leader, I know your government tries to say Canadians should have confidence in the process underway with the Emergencies Act inquiry, but a serious issue here. Who should Canadians believe, CSIS or the Prime Minister?"
Senator Gold.
Well, thank you for the question. The Canadians should have confidence in the processes that the Emergency Act have put into place. The situation, as we all experienced it here, was fluid. Information was being processed in real time. Answers were being given in good faith throughout the process, and I'm confident that that will be the conclusion that will be reached as well by the Commission.
Senator Platt.
Well, I wish we could all be as confident. Surely, Senator Gold, you must agree that the divulged information from CSIS and the Prime Minister's public comments are a serious contradiction and on a collision course. Senator Gold, two of the most powerful offices are saying two different things. They cannot both be right. Keeping Canadians' trust in their institutions cannot be taken for granted, Senator Gold. Such paradoxical versions of the truth will have a devastating effect on the already eroding confidence of the citizens of our country. Senator Gold, does your government not understand the serious impediment of diminishing public confidence on issues of national security and the use of the Emergencies Act? Where did the 50% number of foreign funds advanced by the Prime Minister come from?
Senator Gold.
The denigration of our national institutions is indeed a serious matter. And I would ask that all members of this chamber, including members of the opposition, pay careful attention to their rhetoric when they seek to denigrate the institutions, including the office of the Prime Minister. Once again, the inquiry is hearing from a variety of sources and witnesses, and including the Prime Minister, who will be appearing. And I have every confidence that Justice Rouleau will come to a conclusion, and his conclusions based upon all the evidence looked at properly in context.
Senator Sanders.